That's better. So look, yeah, this is also Cyprus. In this episode, we want to show you another Cyprus, not from the beach side. Looking ahead, I must say there is something to see here.
Cyprus is a small island. Even in Europe, not everyone knows about it, despite the fact that it's a member of the European Union. Like any other resort destination, it has beaches, there will be another video about them, lots of delicious food and hotels. There are incredibly hospitable people, and Cyprus is easy to find by the cats. They are just everywhere. Hell, look, this beauty we found in an abandoned village. We won't take a closer look at what is hidden from the eyes of beach lovers and away from the bustle of the city. But for that, let's go back 5 days.
That's while we're driving, I'll tell you about one feature of the island. The fact is the transport system is not developed here properly, and like scoreboards, information scoreboards, like do not show all information, or buses do not follow their timetable. For your information, their trip along the sea road costs around €1.50 during a day and €2.50 after 9 p.m. Yeah, in the evening you have to pay more, and at night you'll not probably catch anything on the street, so you're probably gonna order a taxi. If it's expensive or not, decide for yourself.
We totally agree with the tour guides who strongly recommend renting a car. You can get to almost anywhere on the island in an hour or two at most. Note the tanks and solar panels on the roofs of houses. This is the local way to heat water. Now just think about it. 320 days a year the sun shines here. The locals have been using solar energy for a long time because there is no oil and gas here. But despite the bright sun, the wind and water here generates more electricity. So we came to the wind farm.
I used to see windmills only from distance, and I didn't expect they are so huge. Just check it out.
It may seem like there is a lot of green energy here, but actually this is not the case. Only 12% of energy consumption comes from renewable sources.
Let's not waste a lot of time here. I suggest you to move to the next location. Oh, you're still here? We've just arrived.
You can guess from the steam locomotive and wagons that have been preserved here that this is not just a place. In the past it was an important center of copper mining. This is also why this place has historical value, like everything else in Cyprus.
Since both Turks and Greeks used to live here, there are a church and a mosque here. In general, Cyprus is a very religious island and monasteries are everywhere, but we'll go to the most picturesque.
Let's take a look at the kittens before I say the unhappy news. It turns out that you can take off with a drone in this place now, but Since it's so beautiful, we want to show what we found on the internet.
One fact about the next location. I found out about it accidentally, just randomly scrolling TikTok. But before we go there, I want to show you how I saw that for the first time. Let's go.
I wouldn't lie if I said that CyHerbia is a truly fairy tale place which becomes visible even from space thanks to the maze in it. As you wander through the corridors of this maze, it seems that a goblet of fire may be waiting for you around every corner, or Death Eaters depending on your luck. And if you can't find your way out, call in Arrow Hour for help. Another feature of this park is a cypress alley. Take a closer look. Does it remind you of anything? How about now? Well, now you know. The alley exactly repeats the shape of the island.
A nice bonus in the end of the day is a cup of tea, especially if it's for free. We were driving by and realized that it would be a crime not to stop here. The shore view is not the same as from the sky.
Especially observant viewers may have noticed the church. At times when the reservoir overflows, all that is left of it is a cross sticking out of the water. This is of course a very unusual sight. This is because there used to be a village called Alasa on the site of the reservoir. Yes, now looking at these landscapes, it's hard to believe that they had to move an entire village for this. Now it's the largest dam on the island which supplies the nearest regions with water. Perhaps the only reminder of the former village is this small church, or rather what is left of it. By the way, the waterfalls we are going to are along the river which fills this reservoir. So I suggest to move on. The first waterfall we will see is Kaledonia. It's in the middle of a small hiking trail. First, you walk to it for 30 minutes and then you see it.
By the way, if you are a fan of hiking like me, then I recommend you to look at this route and go through it completely, because you know there are a couple of kilometers behind the waterfall and I'm sure that it's beautiful.
Many people think that Kaledonia is the highest waterfall in Cyprus, but this is not true. There is its older brother, Millomeris waterfall, nearby, which is 2 meters higher.
I haven't seen a lot of waterfalls in my life, but this waterfall is so tiny and so cute. Well, I'd recommend you to visit this place for real.
We decided to add perhaps the most beautiful waterfall to our collection. I won't beat around the bush, it's an 8-meter waterfall called Chantara, and I liked it as soon as I saw it. First of all, due to the lack of crowds of tourists. And no, that's not it. This is it.
The waterfall got its name from Greek word andara, meaning the noise of water. Currently, the stream is not very loud as the season time, but when snow melts, when river fills up, and when the water goes down, the stream becomes very, very loud.
On that note, I propose to end with the waterfalls and move on.
And then there's a bit of mystery waiting for us. In fact, there is really enough mysticism here because we're going to the most popular abandoned place in Cyprus, Verengaria Hotel.
Guys, it turned out that the hotel was bought by a new investor, so their entrance is closed now. Some people still get inside, but we will show it to you from the air.
But before that, I should add a few more words. What you're about to see, all of this footage, is not editing. There is a minimum of even basic color correction here. All the fog, the clouds, it took literally 15 minutes to appear. I couldn't even believe it was real. It was as if the universe wanted us to capture the place just like that. It's hard to believe that such a beautiful place is surrounded by legends of a curse. In short, the owners of this hotel have had accidents under mysterious circumstances. For the most curious viewers, the link will be in the description.
Guys, it's certainly beautiful mountains, but very cold. In fact, there is almost no central heating in Cyprus, but the temperature goes below zero in winter in mountains. So people are trying their best to survive in such conditions. So they put fireplaces, dress warmly, or grab their heaters. You may be asking why we woke up so early. We're going to show you a very colorful place in its glory.
In about 30 minutes we're already in Kakopetria. And I guess the first thing that catches your eye is the difference in what we used to call a village. For comparison, this is what my grandmother's house looks like. Or like this. Either way, the difference is huge. But on the other hand, in the morning, when you wake up early at dawn, you no longer think about what these houses are made of. You are enveloped with the warm memories of childhood. The smell of the village meadow, singing roosters. From around the corner comes the aroma of fresh pancakes. The village welcomes you with all its heart, and you feel this openness. But we have to pay tribute to the Cypriots. The houses here are indeed very beautiful. Narrow ancient streets, miniature houses of the 17th, 19th centuries are built literally on huge boulders. Open shutters and of course popular here, tiled roofs. This village even has its own website, which is updated on a regular basis. Not in terms of design of course, but the news is published there properly. In general, if you are keen on such village vibes, you are free to go and spend an hour here, drinking coffee. Or any other drink.
In fact, this village has another plus. This is the closest point to go to the next location. I won't tell you which one yet, but if you like all sorts of abandoned places, you will definitely like it.
Cyprus was an active miner of minerals like copper, asbestos, iron, and many other things.
According to one version, copper was named cuprum because there was a lot of copper in Cyprus. However, there is a theory that the island was actually named after that metal.
So here we are, guys, and this is even better than I imagined it.
As you remember, almost everything in Cyprus has historical value, so this copper deposit turned out to be not so simple. After 10 years of operation, at a depth of 100 meters there were found tools from the 8th century BCE. The mine itself depleted almost 50 years ago and was closed. Not far from this place there is another really cool spot. It's Red Lake. When production was closed, the quarry eventually filled with rain and groundwater, and because of the high iron ore content in the quarry soil, the water oxidized and became red in color. The best thing that can happen in travel is to deviate from the planned routes. What I'm talking about? We found out that there is a green lake a few minutes away from the red lake. Yeah, it doesn't sound as sexy and more like a swamp, but it looked very atmospheric. And since we're talking about abandoned places, we have to stop at the village Fikardou.
Beautiful place.
The village is essentially uninhabited, but not abandoned either. People are not allowed to settle in the vicinity of the village because it's a museum village and preserves the Cypriot rural architecture of past centuries. In order not to destroy it, the Department of Antiquities maintains it in its original form. According to various reports, either 6 or just 2 people live here: an 80-year-old grandfather and his 60-year-old daughter. This seemingly uninhabited village has a town hall, museum, post office, and a restaurant.
By the way, there are also cats in this village.
Since we are traveling through the countryside, let's stop by another beautiful village. The village of Agros is a village of roses. The local small factory produces a variety of rose products: rose oil, perfume, soap, syrups, liqueurs, jam, candles. At the end of the May, when the rose harvest is over, there is a rose festival. Sometimes, Agros is called a gourmet village. In addition to the rose factory, there is a meat factory with huge range of smoked meat. There is also a jam factory here. I had no idea that jam could be so diverse. Especially I was surprised by carrot jam. We already mentioned the topic of nature trails when we were at Kaledonia Falls. Cyprus is full of beautiful trails, but we want to end this topic with the most beautiful one. This is Arthemis Trail. 7 kilometers of pure pleasure for lovers of mountain air. The route is so friendly that there are families with children and grandparents, although to be honest, there are a couple of places that can get the jitters, especially if you're afraid of heights. If you still plan to go through it, then go out well before sunset. The scenery here obviously will not leave you indifferent. If you're lucky, you will meet the mouflon. That is one of the symbols of Cyprus. All in all, 10 out of 10 definitely like. I must be a fan of unpopular locations. I can't explain my thrill of the next destination any other way. the Venetian bridges. There are about 13 bridges preserved on the island. We didn't have time to look at all of them, some of them are far away from each other, but we will show you the most exciting ones. If I were asked to describe all the bridges I saw in one word, I would choose the word romantic. I think even the video captures how succinctly they fit into the natural landscape. Each bridge looks so textured. It's like a picture of a fairy tale. There are bigger and smaller bridges, without landscape banks and with decorated picnic areas. So choose the one that you like and go, which many do despite the rather cold December. The smallest of the Venetian bridges in Cyprus is the Elea. Its height is 5 meters. You can easily miss it from the road if you miss the brown sign. The river is jammed with steep stone banks and there is no easy way down to the water. So tourists arrive, quickly check in at the bridge, take a couple of pictures and then go on. The Kalavasos bridge is located in a picturesque forest next to Armino Reservoir. The bridge is about 10 meters high and 2.5 meters wide.
Well guys, our trip is over and it would be great to make a few conclusions. Modern Cyprus is literally hypnotizes you with its serpentines and slow village vibes. But you feel yourself at home almost everywhere. Seriously, like you visit your grandparents and they hug you with all their warmth.
Some people may think that the local mountains are not as beautiful as in Switzerland, and waterfalls are not high enough, but me personally really enjoyed traveling around Cyprus, and that is one of those cases when your expectations doesn't match reality, but you like it. You expect bright sun, sea, beaches, but you find mountains, the waterfalls, and authentic villages. In many places you stand alone, and that makes you feel like a discoverer. And you discover the world and push your boundaries.